even worse when it's a friend that's your neighbor or your landlord. A narcissistic landlord, real thing, I have lived experience. Let's talk about this. With narcissists in general, but specifically in the wild, I see two big types or patterns here. The more communal ones that hide in those helper community roles so they look safe and unsuspecting. And then the ones that want authority and power. They seek out positions where they get full control. And housing right now is the perfect setup for them. There's more renters than ever and less people that can afford to own their own home, even with a good job. Now, my landlord, she was actually awesome until she left, but the owner of the building, full-scale narcissist. Inspections that weren't inspections, but used to interrogate or intimidate you until you either blew up or cried and surrendered. Either way, what she wanted was a reaction. Constant gaslighting. There's nothing wrong with that appliance. She had a very grandiose sense of entitlement. Her way, her timing, her rules. Example, the time the fire department ended up fining her. Why? Because she felt entitled not to fix a sparking fuse box. My biggest battle with narc owner lady by far was in 2014 after there was a massive flood. The gasket on the toilet blew. About 75% of the carpet and all the flooring was literally destroyed. It was the late summer. It reeked of mold in there. And she was not taking perfectly good carpet to the landfill. She was just going to dry them out and everything would be fine. In the end, the renovations got done. Her hand was forced, not by me, by my narcissistic ex, because he knew how to maneuver her. But we lived in a war zone for over a month. They will spend more money fighting with you than just simply fixing something, because it's not about logic with them, it's about control. Conflict is like their hobby. Plausible deniability is their shield, and control is their drug. And a whole building of tenants they have control over, that's grade A supply for them. Now, sometimes narcissists in this kind of a role, landlord, owner, because they do have responsibilities, they do get caught. That's what happened to her. Some shit went down in her divorce that was going on for years, by the way, because they'll drag that out as well, that caused her some kind of exposure and injury. And from there was an escalation, as there usually is if there's exposure. Wrongful evictions, targeting tenants, legal troubles. She couldn't stop even after judges ruled against her. She went through a full narcissistic collapse. She's in like a dozen civil lawsuits right now. I did a full video on this collapse about a year ago. That's what a collapse can look like though, when their ego is at threat of exposure and accountability. That's like their biggest fear in the world. But trying to expose them and push them into a collapse, it's not a guarantee and it can be very, very dangerous. So if you have to live with a narcissistic landlord or owner, what can you do? Some people just simply end up moving out because they can't handle it anymore, and some people don't have that option because of lack of resources, so they have to stay, just like in the romantic relationship. And if that's the case, the same survival rules apply. Jade, don't justify, argue, defend, explain. Use gray rock. Biff, brief, informative, firm, factual. Know your rights and protect your peace. But bottom line, for a narcissist, being an owner or a landlord isn't just a business for them. It's about having power and control over as many people as they can in one spot.